Hi guys, at times I think left-wing Brexiteers are more interesting than those on the right, as the latter generally voted to leave the European Union because of xenophobia and racism. The big names backing Brexit on the right, of course, support it due to its disaster capitalistic nature and the stripping away of regulations to protect everything from the environment to workers. But it's good to hear from somebody who has finally woken up to reality. Jenny Jones, who's a baroness in the House of Lords, backed Brexit back in 2016 over what she saw as EU austerity policies following the financial crisis of the early 2010s. Not exactly the best reason for leaving, but this is what she had to say recently.
The only sensible thing now is to actually cut our losses on this and rejoin the EU. There's a growing recognition that leaving the European Union has not delivered the benefits that we were promised. The relationship should be as close as possible until the political circumstances are right for us to rejoin the EU. I say that as somebody who voted for Brexit, but what I've seen is the destruction by this government, and they are not delivering on all their promises. This bill is an attack on democracy here within Parliament. Rather than taking back control, the government is seeking to take away Parliament's sovereign power of voting for or against laws and hands that power over to a chaotic executive of right-wing ministers and their civil servants. We've reached the slash and burn stage of Brexit cultism, which will certainly throw this country into a state of legal uncertainty. The electorate has not voted for this. It is not in the Tory party manifesto. Voters have never been asked about this approach that they want to take to retain EU law. It's not part of the oven-ready Brexit that we were promised, which was cooked up last year with a poison pill, which will mean the important decisions of which law to retain will have been made by the end of this year, before the general election, and then some other political party will have to pick up the mess and try to cope with the disaster. 2,000 years ago, the Roman philosopher Cicero said, "The closer the collapse of an empire, the crazier its laws." And this is what we have here. There are families who are starving. There are people who are freezing in their homes. There are workers rightfully striking on the streets. And we are here debating this dross. I don't know how the government can face us when they send us legislation like this.
Wonderful. And finally, somebody's saying it. And kudos to her, because she voted for Brexit. She supported Brexit back in 2016, and she understands the disaster that it has unleashed upon Britain, and the fact that the government are using it as part of a power grab, removing powers from Parliament and putting them in the hands of ministers, and the fact that they want to roll back all of these protections that exist when the UK was a member of the European Union. And it's important to remember that, you know, a lot of the regulations that the UK wants to get rid of now, the UK was one of the principal actors in getting those laws created in the first place. So a lot of them were written by British politicians for Europe, and now you have Brexiteers wanting to undo them. And they have not come forward and explained which laws they want to get rid of, why they want to get rid of them, and what they're going to replace them with. This is a power grab. This is about stripping workers of their protections, stripping the environment of protections, reducing regulations, making it easier for businesses to exploit everyone and everything. And a power grab by government. Now, it's important that people stand up, especially people who campaigned for Brexit or voted for Brexit or supported Brexit, and point this out. It's one thing, you know, Remainers standing up and talking about this. It's another thing when you have somebody who campaigned or voted for Brexit. Her reason to vote for Brexit, as I said, was related to austerity that she believed was being imposed upon countries around Europe, and she wanted Britain to get out of that. But I think it was clear for most people, you know, you were hoping to get a left-wing government, and then you'd be able to do whatever you want with that. But because of the way Parliament works, because of British democracy, you could end up with a right-wing government, and they will do whatever they want. At least the European Union had a minimum standard. They had a minimum level, a floor, which normally countries cannot fall below normally. That floor has been removed. And you have the disaster capitalists in charge, and you have those who want to strip away protections for workers, the environment, standards, everything. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.